We're in.
All right, we are back for episode 2 of Mount Rushmores. I know highly clamored for show. Everybody loves it so far. In this episode, we are going to do our favorite episodes. So I'm looking forward to this one, Ron. What are you thinking?
Pretty pumped. There's about 500 to choose from. So, yeah, it took a lot of fucking digging.
I know. I almost wish we should almost do like double Mount Rushmores and just like we should have 8.
There should be eras, you know what I mean? Like there's Steve era, Dave era, you know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if where our episodes fall, if they're in the Steve era or if most are in the Dave era. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. First, I think if you're being nostalgic, they'll be in the Steve era, but at the same time, there's been some bangers lately in the you know, in the interim. For sure.
Agreed. But first, before we get into the actual Mount Rushmores, we are going to do everybody's doing it, but final predictions for the producer battle. It's a little bit later on tonight, I guess in like 4.5 hours. They'll be up there starting the Sacco show. So I know, Ron, you were on with Minners last night, giving Gus a little bit of guff. I know he kind of shit on us. We deserved it. We deserved it. It wasn't the best show, but at least he was getting our name out there.
Yeah, I will say that, but I will also say that Gus is critical of us, but he's also taken his lackings.
I don't know.
All right, let's redo this. God damn it.
No, keep going. No, we're good. Just keep going. But for Gus has all of the Justin qualities. Like he'll do anything for the show. He's shown it. He went and crawled around Milton's. I mean, he's did the 24-hour live stream. That was huge. That's just like what Justin used to do. And he's got technical ability. Like the last 24 hours of Gus is kind of my 1A, I think.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the Justin stuff was big. That was my favorite. Like the long drives with Mike or the hot dog recording on Periscope. That stuff was my favorite.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I like Gus, but he's just too erratic for me. And with erraticness, I think Montante fits that perfectly. And if you put him and Coleman together, I think it's literally like the perfect mix for Kirk. You know,
I don't think you can go wrong with. Yeah, like there's a few. Like you definitely couldn't go wrong with Montante. You can't go wrong. I don't think with Gus. Coleman, like they said, I think Coleman, everybody keeps saying it's like they want to get to Barstool. That's exactly what Coleman wants to do. He wants to get back in those doors. Like, I don't know if he's a KMS guy, but
I don't think hate Kirk that either,
go. Yeah, but it's a spark. I mean, it's not a separate entity, but it's a bit of a separate entity. And like, I don't want to see all this Barstool stuff get shoehorned into KMS just because Coleman, who got laid off from Barstool, thinks it's the right thing to do.
I hear that, but they hired him for a reason originally, and he lives in New Jersey. And he's, willing to move to Watertown or Newton or whatever. So I see no problem with that. And if he wants to put his heart and soul in the show, like John Rich, I have no problem with that.
I see where you're coming from. I don't know. It kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. He's a great guy. He's funny. He's funny on Twitter. His Twitter stuff has been incredible. But
really, I haven't seen any of it.
I know he's been doing some good. He did a great video yesterday of like the Minneslam stuff, and then like leading up to Sacco. It was like watching a Patriots playoff hype video. It was actually really good. So hopefully he can at least do some of that stuff if he doesn't get it. But John from Scranton, John from Scranton is a dark horse. He knows how to do everything. He's been in the world forever. He's a funny guy. His past is a little bit rocky. But I think he could get over that. I
don't even see that. Like, I don't really know his past like at all because I didn't really pay attention to the world. Sorry to interrupt. Before, but why is his past rocky? Because he used to do YouTube streams with like guys who didn't like the show. I don't really know.
No, I think there's a few times he didn't show up and do things he said he was going to do, and then just kind of ghosted people. Like I know Portland. I was excited to meet him in Portland. And then he said he was coming. He said he was like halfway there, and then he just didn't show up and didn't post anything on Twitter for the next week. So I think there's a pattern of those pattern of those instances. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I think you scared of sneakers, but
A Sneakers, great guy. I would endorse Sneakers.
Yeah. Well, I like Sneakers too, but he's not going for the producer role. So,
predictions.
do we
Final
like
predictions?
Mick?
Who do you think?
I like Mick. He's been growing on me, but I think my final prediction is Montante with Coleman.
Why does everybody think that there's going to be a double up? Like Kirk has consistently said he's not sure if there is, and I've seen a lot of this hype like there's going to be two producers, and I don't see it. I don't know what the funding is, obviously, but you got to pay two people like an adult wage with benefits, and I don't know if that's in the budget.
Because Kirk is smart enough to know that like he's got a good heart, so he doesn't want to like and he's also really smart, so he doesn't want to like put everything into one bag, like he just wants to split think about this. You give two guys $60,000 a year each and benefits.
Yeah, but that's more than Steve was making. That's more than Steve was making, especially with the benefits.
It's $10,000 more. So Steve was making 110 a year.
I think around 100. So it's like 20 grand more. So that's a lot of and benefits and all that that's coming out of that. $20,000.
He seems really, really into the show. Who? So like think about WEI. He had Curtis and Ken.
Yeah.
And so now if you pay $60,000 each to two guys, just makes so much sense. I don't know. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, if they take it, it just seems like you got to pay two people like an adult living salary, like a wage with retirement benefits and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know.
He's rich anyways. Who cares at this point? He just wants a good show.
Yeah, but you're looking at legacy planning and all that, and his kids have got to go to college. College is super expensive. I know Kirk's got money, but that's a lot of money. $20,000 is a lot of extra money. It could go a long ways in certain areas.
I hear what you're saying, but they also made a bid about $30,000 being lost out of his pocket for a couple of weeks, and they did do another show, but I don't think
they made it back.
Yeah, they made it back in tenfold. So
that's true.
All right, you want to get into it?
Let's get into the Mount Rushmore, number 2, the second annual Mount Rush Kirk. This time episodes, our favorite episodes. Definitely respond or chime back in with some of you guys' favorite episodes. But what's your name? Ron, I went first last time. I think it's only fair you get to go first this time.
All right. First one, I'm going to go K. Marco Delonde-esque. Do you remember that one?
Great
when first found out about it was so good. I was fired the fuck up when he found out K. Marco tried to fuck him over.
I know. Is that when was that the episode before Rape came out, or did Rape come out during that episode?
I think it came out during that episode.
Dude, that was I couldn't believe it when I heard that song for the first time.
No, actually, that was a totally different thing.
Yeah, Corona might have needed an extra day or two to put that together. But yeah, the death of I looked up what that meant because classic Steve puts in some Latin stuff that nobody's really gonna know what it means. So I had to look it up. And was it Death of K. Marco? Is that what you said?
I don't think you're remembering the episode I'm talking about. It was the one where he found out about K. Marco fucking him over.
Yeah, posted the blog.
Yeah.
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 It was that where K. Marco had posted the Zonker blog.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that put out not Rape. K. Marco is what's his name? K. Marco is a cunt. He likes his girl to be underage. That's what
cunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Did it come out in that episode or was it the next one?
Yes. That was the next one, but that kind of promoted it. I love that episode. I remember where I was. I was at work. I was on lunch. I was like, holy fuck, this is so riveting. And it just got deeper and deeper and deeper. I was like, this guy has such a good point. I was like, this guy is such a fucking cunt. And he's been dead ever since. It was awesome. It was awesome. Steve was great too. Steve was so good too. I wish I had sound.
Especially Steve comes up with that name. You know, you can see with Steve's like sly little fucking eat shit smile when he's typing that name in on Spotify or however they do it. He's so happy with himself. Yeah. Oh man.
Totally.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and make my first pick, and I'm going with The Hammer. It's my favorite episode by a mile. Where they acted like the radio, the Hammer. The
Yep.
When that one first came on,
or whatever, like, yeah, it was so funny. I did not see that coming at all. It was like a fucking blindside hit.
Dude, I know it's Simply Steve and Mikey B. And my favorite part of it, I'll go back and re-listen to that one like like every so often. And I think my favorite part is they play the entire songs, like the whole song, like the Post Malone Circle song. The whole thing is in there. It's like, what the fuck? But no, I love.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the Harry Styles song? That's a good trivia question right there.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. I mean, I would know it if I'd heard it.
It was "Adore You" by Harry Styles.
I remember that one was big.
It played the whole fucking thing. I was walking my dog. I was like, it just keeps going.
Yeah, you'd expect it to go off after like 45 seconds or so, and they come back in. But no, that was when they were doing all the when they were doing all the radio bits and like making fun of the War of the Roses, and that just hit perfectly. I've been praying to God that they would do another Hammer episode, and it's probably not even on their radar, but I wish they would.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll segue into that with my next pick, and I'll go with Cullen. Have you listened back to Cullen?
Yep.
Oh,
I did. Good. I haven't recently. It was like 2 years ago, and I did probably.
Oh, so fucking funny, dude. If you listen back to it now, he's got like all the fucking outsiders that chime in, like Andy Mayo.
Carano, I'm sure was big.
Yep. Carano was in there. Clemmer was in there. Oh, yeah, because they were two lovers.
That's foreshadowing. That was a divisive episode. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people did. I remember that being one of the big times Kirk was kind of going back at the fans he's like, it's all right if you don't like it. Just shut the fuck up. You know, it's something we did.
Yeah, well, that dickhead fucking DEC fucking came at it, was, critical of it. And I think he wasn't in it, but MHB wasn't in it either. Yeah, that was a great episode. I liked that a lot.
I know. I loved when they did something that was like, I mean, every episode's creative, obviously, this is all craziness, but I like it when they took the extra step and did like incorporated like a show joke into like some weird little episode. Those are my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good pick. Sure. You got a good run going. My next pick, my number 2 pick is going to be the 2019 best of all 8 hours and 41 minutes. Worth.
No, that shouldn't count. That doesn't count.
I can't take that.
No, nope.
There's
no best of allowed. No, this is just straight episodes.
It's 8 hours worth of episode. That's a week's worth of episode almost. All right. I'll pivot.
All right, so run through how good it was. All 2019. Great.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great year. And the lead up to Mike and Steve having to make it, and they were both like, we have no idea what we're doing. And then all of a sudden, you get fucking 8 hours and 45 minutes. It's like, all right, fucking bronze. But all right, well then, if I can't take the best of, I'm gonna go with The Return. When Mike got back from mental leave or from playing fencing and learning how to be blind, and they did the cheers. It was just him and Kirk, and they just did cheers. That everybody knows we're lame. That was great.
That was so good, dude.
You didn't see it.
That was absolute expert media, like just broadcasting.
It was just beautiful.
Feeling like, that was it was so good. There's nothing to be said. I mean, it was just awesome.
I had gotten big into cheers and I was listening to Everybody Knows We're Lame whenever Clemmer and Mike would do it. And so me and our buddy, we watched like all of Cheers. So when it came back, it was great. I actually got some good insight on the Cheers episode from Kirk that we wouldn't have usually got. So I thoroughly enjoyed that one. And I was glad Mike was back.
Yeah, right. Are you including that with Mike being back after? Because they did a regular episode after that.
Yeah, the next one was just kind of like a normal, but no, it was just because I expected to hear Mike. I was happy to hear Mike back. I was glad he was done fencing. I didn't want to see any holes poked into him. And then all of a sudden we got a sick "Everybody Knows We're Lame" episode, and I was like, wow, with Kirk, this is incredible. So no,
I knew the bit they were doing like the minute he started. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'm just gonna go through this like the whole fucking way. I
I
think it was
loved
like 30 minutes of it. It's so funny.
Yep.
All right, so I'll take us into the next one. This is my third. I'm gonna do the RIP, but I'm doing the Jon Stewart Experience.
Man, you just took my next pick. Great pick. Great pick.
Yep, he's the fucking best, dude. Whenever he used to call in, I would literally stop what I was doing, like rewind, and then like start again. So I was like, this guy is the fucking best.
Dude, Jon Stewart was great Minifan, all-time Minifan, easily on the top 50, maybe top 10. But I was lucky enough to meet him in Magnolia, and I mean, he was hitting on he was hitting on the lady behind the counter. I think he was asking her about 90210, and then he walked in and was like scanning the gas station drinks. I was like, oh, this guy's gonna get a beer or something. He goes down and gets a nice chocolate milk. I was like, all right, here we go. Wearing a purple button-down shirt with a nice tie. That's
Jon literally what he wore in the studio when he went on.
It must have been his Kirk Minahan show, just uniform.
Yes, definitely.
But no, that's a great pick. Jon Stewart brought the heat I wish he would have been in more, because I feel like if Jon Stewart was still alive now, and even if he didn't have all that fanfare before, like he would have found his way onto the show to be a regular third chair. Easily.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And he would have loved to do it. And whenever he used to call in and go, all aboard.
Yeah.
Like I would literally be like, yes. Fuck yeah. It's like when Kevin calls in now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except way better.
And I just saw Kirk tweeted that the Jon Stewart portrait has arrived in Sacco. So he's there. The essence of the man is there.
Good. So that's my third pick. Jon Stewart, love you.
That's a great pick for 3. That's a good one at 3. I'm going to go for 3. I'm taking the Gina show. The Gina show, that might have been one of the hardest I ever laughed just at the show in general. The weight of the situation and all those people going back at Dave with that nice acronym name show that I probably shouldn't say here. Minners will kick us off the network. But just breaking down that was awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God. So freaking funny. Yeah. Oh, you talking about the I know what show you're talking about with Brandon Newman and Willie
Colon and all them. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't say it. The Black and Bunsman could say it, but we can't say it.
Well, we can't say it, but we can say the acronym. It was like not your average show or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Now it gets extremely real. Now it gets extreme. Now it's gonna get
real. Now it actually gets extremely real or something. That was the end of their era anyway. Yeah, that was so funny, dude.
But
that Gina
basically
thing was
Kirk ran
absurd. It was absurd.
If
you listen back to that, audio. Absolute unbelievable audio. The fact that they were trying to like teach people how to burn down police stations, and oh my God, it was so fucking funny. And then for Kirk and Steve to break down that, it was laugh out loud funny. Loved it. Loved every
what you say. She's like, if we burned down a police precinct every time like an unarmed black man was shot by the police, there would really be some change. But a lot more people would be going to prison, you dumb bitch. And the riots.
And then what's her name? Ellie Schmidt was like sitting there like nodding her head. It's like, what?
Ellie said maybe 15 words during her whole podcast. She said maybe 15 words. That was ridiculous.
Oh my God, so fucking funny.
And Gina, she was a legacy, whatever rioter. Her mom used to go out to riots, and so Gina had to go out to riots. It runs in the blood.
Is that right?
That was, yeah. That was the whole thing. Saying make sure you bring a water bottle out there in case you get dehydrated. Just just unbelievable.
What a wild time! Because, dude, honestly, I fucking hated that era of the show. I love the K Marco stuff. I love the Gina stuff, but like the Black Lives Matter stuff, like really fucking bugged me. I was just like, I'm so over this. You know what I mean? Like I just wanted to like go back to goofing around.
Hey, and how about a little break in the Mount Rushmore? How about you're the KB caller? I had no idea.
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No.
Kirk was wrong about
breaking news. I am not the KB caller.
Wow.
I love the KB caller though. That guy is hilarious.
Are you just lying about it because you don't want them to know that you were the KB caller, or were you actually not the KB caller?
No, not at all. No, not at all. I'm like Andy Mayo right now, trying to like plead my case against a good caller. No, I'm not the KB caller.
Dude, Mayo sounded just like Trump. Like he sounded just like him.
Mayo is not witty enough to be Trump. There's just no way.
Yeah, I don't know. He sounded like him though.
He did a little bit. But do you think Mayo has like the gall to be Trump? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no chance.
All right, so you're number 4.
Next episode. My number 4. I'm struggling to find it. It's the one where Mike comes out as little Alex Jones. Remember that one?
What's it called? No, I don't remember what it's called. What's it called?
I don't remember what it's called, but it's the Aunts and Ants one, I think.
Okay, well, I mean, that's an absolute classic.
So Aunts versus Ants, little Alex Jones, all in the same one. It was so fucking funny. I laugh out loud every time I listen back, but it's so good. So that's my 4th pick.
That's fair. All right. Well, I don't know what to say to that because.
All right, that pick sucks, I guess. Whatever.
Bad pick. It's fine. It happens. All right, but my last pick is definitely Death of Steve Robinson. Can't believe it's still here. Where I mean, the sick part is like I actually did want to hear that audio because I didn't get to hear Kirk like going to badgering the police and the Fenway Park people. Like I didn't get to catch it the night before, so I did want to hear it, and I didn't get to. So it was beautiful. Could easily be number 1 on my list. Got down to number 4 somehow, but that's a great episode.
There's been so many fucking episodes that I can't believe that one fucking slipped by me. That was so fucking funny. They called how many people? He called both brothers this time.
It was 2 or 3 hours worth of just calling people and being like, "Hey, I don't have this audio. What do you think about me?" And be like, "Wow, you're a real fucking idiot, you dumbass." And then it'd be the next person. I remember.
No, they didn't do calls at the time. They would just call people. It was so fucking funny.
I remember getting ready for work one morning and just like hearing him have to call another person, be like, "Wow, holy shit, this show is different. You cannot hear this anywhere else."
I felt for Steve too. I couldn't fucking get over that because that was back when it wasn't on YouTube. It was just you wait for the podcast to come out.
Yeah. Just
nothing was live. And you're like, oh my God. Like they call Adam Minahan and they call Ryan Minahan and they're both like sound the same. They're both like, yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
They called Box Eating Dad, I think. I think Box Eating Dad was one of the people that got called.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But he wasn't like labeled as Box Eating Dad when they called him, right?
No, he might have been anti-vax mom at that point.
But that was at the time too, where like guys just DM'd Steve like their numbers.
Yeah, you had to get on the private line.
He just like called random people. Yeah,
but and then I think the next episode was called like Kirk Minahan's producer contemplated quitting or something, but obviously Steve didn't quit, which ended up being the best thing he's ever done.
Yeah, it was producer. Yeah, contemplates quitting or something. Yeah. So funny. And then you get the fucking, the Andy Mayos or whatever at the time and like DEC and like guys like that who were like, cheering and, applauding it. But I loved it. I love Steve. I thought it was great.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it. That's the Mount Rushmore. My Mount Rushmore was The Hammer, The Return, The Gina Show, The Death of Steve Robinson.
All right. What was mine?
Yours was K. Marco, Delinda S.
K. Marco, Delonda S.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was K. Marco, Delonda S. It was.
Oh, you did Cullen. Cullen was
Cullen. Then it was the little Alex Jones episode, and it was.
You didn't write it down? You don't have a list?
We're going to edit it out.
You gotta have a list. All right.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys next week for whatever it is we do. If you have ideas, hit us up.
All right. Thanks for listening.